Hi everybody, my name is Stephanie Thiessen and I'm your GelMoment independent distributor. Today I want to show you how I'm going to repair the tip of my nail that I have broken with a coffee filter. So I took my kids snowboarding and our daughter has very sticky bindings on her snowboard and I managed to crack my nails. So my nails are very strong and when they do crack, they snap clean off like this. So I'm basically missing about that much nail. It broke off and so now I've got to fix it. So I'm going to use coffee filter and I'm going to show you how I am going to do that. So I'm going to take my nail file and I'm just going to buff the surface of the nail just to prepare it for the polish. Just a gentle buff over the nail. And then we're going to take our cleanser pad and we're going to just cleanse the surface of the nail. Just like you would anytime you apply your polish. And I'm going to make sure that I cleanse under my nail as well and around where that cracked piece is. There we go. So what I've done is I've taken my coffee filter and I have just cut off a section of the coffee filter that is wide enough for my nail. So you can see here I have this piece that I've cut off. So this is the piece that I'm going to use. And I'm going to just put it on there so you can see that it is just perfectly wide enough for the width of my nail. So what I'm going to do is now I need to basically glue the coffee filter to my nail using Clearly Frisky. So what I've done is I've just used my nail to kind of round out the coffee filter a little bit, kind of like how you would with a ribbon. You just want it to have like a bit of a natural curve to it. So I've just used my nail just to kind of curve it, give it a bit more of a shape instead of just flat. And I'm going to take the Clearly Frisky and I'm going to grab a coffee filter piece and I'm going to paint Clearly Frisky onto this coffee filter, onto the tip here. Basically just the section that's going to be on the nail. And I'm being quite generous as the coffee filter is going to absorb some of that polish. There we go. I'm just going to set that down. Now I'm going to take the Clearly Frisky and I'm going to do a very thin coat over my nail. Just going up close to the cuticle without touching it, down along the sides, and over the edge where the crack is. Now I'm not going to cap because I don't need to with this step. And close up my bottle, put it to the side, and now I'm going to grab my piece that I painted with the Clearly Frisky and I'm going to put it onto my nail. So I'm going to make sure that it is pushed back far enough so that it is past the crack, so you can see where the edge of the crack is there, and then it's also on that side of the nail there too. And I'm just going to use my other nail and I'm just going to gently push it down so that it is nice and tight to the nail. There we go. So I'm just making sure that it is good on both sides. So we are good there. What I'm just going to do is I just want a bit more a rounded shape on this side. There we go. You don't want it to be flat and you don't want it to be kind of funny shape. So there we go. So now I'm going to just pop it in. Oh, there we go. I'm going to pop it under the light for the 45 seconds. So I'm using the professional 4-finger lamp, which cures the polish in 45 seconds. Now there are lots of different types of coffee filters that you can use. This is just the one that we happen to have in the house. Coffee filters are stronger than the tea bags. I'll show you the tea bag. So here's the tea bag. They are stronger and thicker than the tea bag, so they work well when you're using it for a tip like this. If you're using the tea bag for a split in the nail where the nail is still attached, then the tea bag works great for that, just binding those two pieces together. But because I have a whole section of the nail that is missing, the coffee filter is going to work the best here. So we're almost done. There we go. So now it is on my nail. And what I'm going to do is just cut this section off. let me. My scissors are always just rip it. There we go. So you can see there where the Clearly Frisky is, it's actually nice and hard, so I was able to rip off this section here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my Clearly Frisky and I'm going to do another coat over top of that. And then I'm going to go all the way over to the end of this coffee filter. So now you're probably thinking this coffee filter is going to leave a bit of a bump in your nail. It's going to be a bit weird. Don't worry, we're going to file that down, kind of like how you would a nail build, and we'll make that nice and smooth. Just get the rest of that coffee filter edge. And now what I'm going to do is just let it sit for a minute and just let it level itself out. All of our polishes are self-leveling, so it'll level itself out nicely over the tea bag. So you can see there's just a little bit of a ridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to file that down after we cure this coat. I'll pop that underneath the lamp. So now once this coat is cured, the coffee filter is going to be very, very tough, very hard. So we're going to use our nail file to file that down. Almost done. Get my file ready. I was pretty annoyed when I took my glove off and saw that I was missing a part of my nail. Her bindings are very, very stiff. They will probably be replaced for next season because they are so tough. She can't even do them herself. So now I'm going to take my nail file and I'm just going to be filing this down. I'm going to be shaping it to the shape that I want. So I'm going to try matching the square shape of the rest of my nails. So this side wasn't broken or cracked, so I'm just going to even it back up to where it was. I'm just going to make this square across. And you can see the coffee filter is coming loose after I file off the polish there. Just filing it back to the length that I had it. And I'm just going to shape this side again. Taper it in just a little bit. This side taper in a little bit. It's always harder when it's on your dominant hand to get things even. Almost there. So I think that's pretty close to where I had it. That was the length. Even it out on this side here. There we go. So now you can see that I have the right length and the right shape. Looking at it, I'm just going to taper this side in a bit more. Just kind of keep an eye on it. Look at it from all angles to make sure you have the right shape. Okay, there we go. So now I got the right shape and I'm just going to clean off underneath my nail here. There we go. So now you can see the bump on the top of the nail here where the coffee filter and the polish were. So we're actually going to just file this down. So I have 2 coats of Clearly Frisky on here right now. So that means that I'm not going to be filing too hard because I don't want to go down to my natural nail. But it means that there is protection between my natural nail and the polish. I'm just going to file this down nice and smooth, and I'm focusing most of my effort on this middle section here where the coffee filter was or is. And we're just going to go over it, and you're kind of like ombreing it almost in a little bit because you want it to be even on both sides. So I'm just going to file this down. Just keep looking over it. File over the top to make it nice and smooth. Clean it off. So what you can do is you can have a look at it and look at it from all angles to see, is it smooth on top now? Is there still a bit of a ridge? If there's still a bit of a ridge, that's okay. We are going to probably cover that with the second coat. Depending on how big of a ridge it is, the second coat or the third coat of Clearly Frisky will cover that up. So there we go. I think that's good. Feel over it. Feels nice and smooth. So now I'm going to clean it off with the alcohol swab underneath the nail. There we go. Get all of that dust off. So there you go. You can see how I've got my nail nicely shaped. I'm not missing a piece anymore. I'm going to go ahead and take Clearly Frisky, and I'm going to just do a sealing coat over the top. Just seal everything in. And with this one, I'm going to cap the nail. So I'm getting close to the cuticle without touching it. Going over the nail, and then I'm going to cap the nail, going over it with the Clearly Frisky. Making sure to get especially the side where the crack was, the missing piece. Just making sure that we get all of that. There we go. And so now what you can do, you can see there, got my nail all nicely done and painted. And now if you wanted to, you could go ahead and shape it again. So say you look at it and you realize, oh, it's not quite the right shape that I wanted, or it's a little bit too filed down on this one side. I need to even it out on the other side. You can absolutely go ahead and do that after this coat. Clean it off again, and then you can either seal it with another coat of Clearly Frisky, or you can just go ahead and paint right over top of it. Now that you have those coats in there, the nail is nice and strong. It's not going to break because of the filing. That's totally fine. You'll be able to really easily be able to file it to the shape that you want, and you'll be good to go. So we're almost done here. It's amazing what you can use to help your nails, especially when you have a nasty break or a really bad cut in your nail. So there we go. Fixed it with a coffee filter, not missing a part of my nail anymore. And I can go ahead and paint my nails and they will all match. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned how to use a coffee filter to fix a crack or a break in your nail. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.